What is up, everybody? It's Rich Latta here. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that have already hopped down, for those of you that are here for the first time, welcome as well. Today we're going to be tracking out the track that I created on my lunch break last week, which you can find further back on the channel. Basically, I set up at my job, had the keyboard. I don't know if you guys can see it here. Had the keyboard, set it all up at the job, and cooked up something in 20 minutes. Today we're going to track it out. I'm going to show you how I kind of do the track out process, hopefully in a a reasonable amount of time. So for those of you that don't know what we're working with, this is what we're working with. Oh, you might hear it coming in and out. Sorry about that. So beats, they just don't come out themselves, because you have to take stuff out, you have to put it in, you have to do whatever. So I've got 150 BPM here. So it seems like, for me, the way I'm looking at it, I'm all right, how long did this song need to be? Maybe 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. I got my drums up top right here. So if I were to mute everything here, it's like my 808, my drums going, nice little bounce and all that. And like I said, if you want to see how I cook this up live on the spot, go back in the archive. But what we're going to do, I'm going to use the select button here. And I don't want any of those drums at any point in the first 4 bars. I want the beat to drop, obviously. So what I'm going to do is grab those, hit my draw button. I'm going to move all these over here. So now all I have to worry about are, I'm going to move this one here, and I'll hit shift and then move that over. So that's what I got to begin. So I don't want my tag to come in right away because I just like to put my tag a little bit later. You don't want to give all your instruments away. So you got to think about it in terms of, you want to build something up and then have a main event and then bring it back down for the verse to start. That's at least the philosophy that I have with it. Some people like to just, blast you over the head right away. I like to start with the hooks, essentially, to, build them up, get them there immediately, and then whoever the artist is can just come in and start doing their thing after that. So what I'm left with so far, so I think I like this kind of piano here. I like that a little bit. I'm gonna leave that. And then right there, I think that's a good spot to leave that. So, and of course, I got my Nelly Vox. You always gotta have this thing because it just sounds dope. So, maybe every other one. So from there, a quick grab all these right here, my instruments. Always go back to your draw button or else you can get yourself in trouble here. So what I've got here is this little deal, and I've got my tag. So it'll go like so. Select, and I'm going to start copying these over one by one. So I've got 1, 2. Oh, don't want to do that. Ideally, I'm going to have 8 of these because that's 8-bar chorus. However you want to lay out your songs is on you. But this is the way I do it. Maybe you'll find this helpful. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I need one more. 15, 16. So I've got 4 there, 4 there. Remember, we're making beats in double time, 150, so that might throw you off. Got to keep that in mind, or else you'll have 4-bar loops everywhere. So in your chorus, this is your main event. You're at the top, you're at your biggest level of the song here. But what I want to do make sure I'm transitioning. I'm thinking about the transitions at the same time. So if you do something like drop the snare, not that one. If you drop this snare, like it's like, oh, okay, I think something's on deck. Something just changed here. And then even if you take out the kick and the 808 at the end. Bass. Leave it like that. Now, if you go back through it, we'll play it from the 4th bar on. Now, what you're going to want to do, I'm going to take these out because I don't think it sounds good every single bar. Every other bar might work best for my Nelly vocal there. I say that because of the dilemma, but there's a whole actually documentary about that sound I saw on YouTube a couple years ago. So I like how this sounds for my chorus right here, but now I want to get into the verse. So like, of course, I want to start with my kicks in the verse, and I'm going to use my snares here. I'm not going to use my 808s yet because your 808s, you can keep them tucked away as a tool to use later. So I like to bring them down to give the artist like all the room possible, because I can just tell you, speaking as a rapper, when I'm just hearing all this, is like it needs to, like, the vocal is the most important thing on the song. Like, that's the main instrument, or else it's just, you know, these are just instrumentals. It might as well be jazz in that case. But like, we need to leave room for the artist. Once the artist is riding that beat, you can start adding stuff in, and then you might get a different inflection from the artist or something like that. So what I got going here, I'm gonna lead a flute too, so let's start with that. Don't want to do that. I kind of like these pianos here. Keeping that snare there. That's like my little, like, kind of reminder that I've got 4 things that I've done here. So we'll start it like that. See how the mood changes when you add that different one? Like, you go from this. Back. Eventually, you want to, don't forget about your snares. Even sometimes I have a tendency to, like, forget about the snares, because the snares ultimately, like, snaps the beat back in place. The hats drive the rhythm, but if you don't have enough snares or anything, then you're just kind of, you know, in the wind. So let's bring a couple of these Vox back over. So what I'm going to do here, pull that over, so I've got my 8 bars right here. So that's how we're going to start our verse. Real light. And it's like about using your instruments, giving them all their own time to shine during verses. I like this one. like to slide some in at the end, just kind of throw you off. So I think I'm gonna do 12 bar verses on this one. So some people like to do 16 bar verses. 12, you know, gets you in and out a little faster. So I think I'm gonna do a 12 bar verse here. As you can see, it kind of sounds like so. Liberal use of the bass. Save that for the chorus as much as you can. Break my own rule real quick, but and then what we're gonna do, so that's our verse, and we're going to select the hook portion. We're going to hit Control C, which will copy it. Make sure you hit your draw button, move over. Don't worry about where it pastes. You hit Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac. Of course, it's going to drop on top of whatever, but as you see right here, you have your up and down arrows. That means you can move that entire section because it's all highlighted in red. So we're going to move that over, and our hook is going to be there, and we're going to do the same thing with our verse here. Throw a hook on the end, and that's it. That's how I track out like my beats. Like, if it depends if you want to, you know, start freaking around on the second verse or anything with that. But I think this is good to go. You know, just for the uniformity of the track. You can have the first and second verse sounding similar. Of course, you can build a chorus or build a bridge. Maybe that's for another video. And then you'll think about your outro from there. But we'll give it a run through here. So at the end of this video, you will hear the finished product. So this is Rich. We about it.